Welcome to Beyond Sunday at Seymour Heights, a podcast created to go beyond the Sunday service experience, exploring some of the deeper questions of our faith and offering additional content from behind the scenes and from the cutting room floor. I'm your host, Adam, and over the last several weeks, you've had the opportunity to meet a few of our early members that have helped shape our church over these last 50 years. Today's episode is next in line with another member that came to Seymour as a kid and has grown into an integral part of our Sunday morning team. Dan Calhoun is the son of Dwayne and Mary Jane Calhoun, who served as pastor at Seymour Heights in the early 80s. Let's tune in and hear from him now.
Hi, I'm Dan Calhoun, and I came to Seymour Heights Christian Church when I was 8 years old in 1980, and we family came here because my dad was hired to be the preacher, and we liked the church so much that when he resigned from the ministry, we stayed here. So I've grown up in this church. It's all been my home church since then, and just really enjoy being a part of Seymour Heights and watching it grow, and watching the people in Seymour Heights grow. Some of my favorite, all of my favorite things about Seymour Heights is the people. The Sunday school teachers that I've had, youth leaders, friends, and then just watching, like I mentioned, the people growing is seeing my friends have kids and watch those kids grow up to be adults. It's been a really neat experience and fun to reflect back on. But thinking back to some of those teachers like Gene Andre, Larry and Carol Vosdine, Carol's still around, and Bill and Peggy Blevins, Bob and Sue Berry, and past youth ministers, Dennis Wheeler, Doug Roberts, and just the different people that worked with us in the youth, just all kinds of wonderful people. Even John and Carol Linsenbigler teaching my junior high stuff, having Lee Richardson teach Revelation to a bunch of junior hires, so memorable. And it was actually kind of a nice benefit of being so close to Johnson, is that most of the people that I had teaching or in youth ministry came through Johnson or were professors at Johnson. So I feel like I got a little bit more Bible than maybe the average church attender did. So when I went to Johnson, honestly, I was a little bored in some of my Bible classes because I had such good teaching in that. But at the same time, there were just some of the fun things, the Manning family getting the whole church hugging one another. And it wasn't these side hugs or real light hugs. It was full bear hugs, and you'd walk in the church and you're hugging everybody. We had some of the missionaries that we've had, just the fun things happening there. Bob was always up to something and doing something fun. Of course, Jim Knowles, Nancy, Glenn and Martha Myers, Gibb and Mary Coleman. Oh, so many people that have been a part of Seymour Heights, and many that have already gone home, and many that moved away or just aren't with us for whatever reason. But man, it's just been such a important part of my life, and part of the reason I enjoy being here. And then the talent that we've had on stage, the just incredible musical people. And since I've been running sound for over 30 years, almost 35, I got to know them quite well, which has been a lot of fun. It's something I enjoy doing, and that's why you normally find me in the booth. So our small group's rather unique in that we've been meeting for over 20 years, but when you want to talk about the people I am closest to, it's that group. And we do have a lot of fun. We get together, we play games, we just get caught up with one another, and we eat. So it's a lot of fun. And we got some really good cooks in our group too. So we eat really well. But we've had a lot of fun events, and as we're starting to get older, some of them we don't do as much. We used to always do an Easter egg hunt the week after Easter so that we could get the good candy cheap, and it was a full contact Easter egg hunt. Not for little kids for sure. That was a lot of fun, especially when we had a couple of the teenage girls in our group, Katie and Sonora, were blindfolded, and we had Carl and someone else trying to direct them to the hidden eggs in the yard. Very fun. If you've not done that, sometime do that. It's a lot of fun. Have bingo, white elephant gift exchange after Christmas so that you can re-gift those bad Christmas gifts. And we have a couple of teachers in our group, so there's some bad Christmas gifts. But yeah, our group, we do the fun things, but when there is something needed in our group, we pray with one another. We care after one another, and it shows. And that's part of the reason we are so close, just getting to do things. We had a Sunday school class. A lot of people from this group were in that Sunday school class. We went on a cruise together. That was fun. It was in January because the tickets were cheaper then. So we didn't get to do a lot of the things that you would normally do in warm, but it was actually kind of cold. We drove through Georgia through an ice storm. Don't drive a 15-passenger van through an ice storm. Other things we've done. Just some fun stuff. And trust me, when you have Tim Berry, Todd Humble, Carsey Graves, and Carl Smith all in the same group, you will be laughing. The people are what the church is. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not the building. We're blessed with an amazing building. From starting in a horse barn, which was what we were in when I came, that was converted to the church building before I came, but that you still knew that it was a horse barn, to adding the section the youth and children use now, and then eventually the classroom that's used for a lot of the community things here. And then when the process of tearing down the old so that the new could be built, because it was too hard to bring the old up to the standards. Yeah, we had all that building stuff going on, but it was the people still that made the church work. It's interesting to talk with new people coming in and find out, hey, what drew you to Seymour Heights? And so many of them, it's like, man, we just feel welcome when we come in the door. It's always the people that keep people here. That friendliness and welcoming thing is contagious, so that the new people learn how to be that welcoming and friendly to the newer people. And it just continues on with that. We do still have some of the charter members around, which to me also kind of gives a good testament, because we don't have them getting upset that we're trying something new. In fact, it kind of reminds me one of the families that have passed away, Delno and Velma Simpson. Delno, I can remember him, he would always sit about 2 or 3 rows in front of where the sound booth was in the old worship center. And whenever we were singing praise songs, Delno wasn't singing. But when we would sing a hymn, he would be singing just as loud as he could. And I asked him about it one time. I was close enough with Delno to ask him that question. And he said that he knew it was important to have the newer style of music to get younger people in. And if that was what would bring his grandson into the church, he wanted that going on. He said, I might not like the music, but I understand why it's there. And I loved that attitude from him, and just knowing he would rather have had a service full of hymns, but he was there because he supported what we were doing.